E. Michael Jones has complained about being mocked for being a boomer. This, I think, is a logical extension of the love of Westerners in playing the blame game. It's never they who are the blame, it's always somebody else, preferably the Jew, and if not, foreigners or people of another race or people of another religion. We can see now it's turning inwards, this blame game. So, having tired of blaming Jews, Muslims, foreigners, other races, the hatred is turning within. So, they will blame women and people of a different generation. And this is where it's now at. Obviously, it is not constructive, but very destructive, but so satisfying, I suppose. If you can find a goat to scape, then you will have someone else to blame, taking away the possibility of blame from yourself. How can you be guilty of anything while you are the accuser? Conveniently forgetting that whenever you point the accusing finger at someone, three more point back at you. Still, it is always satisfying if you are infantilized and feminized, happy in thinking of yourself as the eternal victims of Jews. There seems to be no way of getting out of this mindset other than to grow up and being infantilized and feminized. They can't do. It's always the look what you made me do kind of thing. So we can have a think about why they're like that. But it's obvious, really. It's just the inability to take responsibility for anything, not even having a crazy religion that probably their ancestors never believed in, and the ingratitude of not accepting a better religion that has miraculously turned up on their shores. They have to hate it and blame the Jews for Muslims, rather than their own destructive economic and social policies of sex and drugs and rock and roll. With this fragmentation of Western society, it becomes almost unimaginable that they're going to solve their problems, considering the Zoomers don't get any support from their boomer parents. That is why you see wave after wave of xenophobes, anti-Semites, and Islamophobes doing their own thing and not getting any support or any advice or warning from their parents. Those who come from religious groups that require the young to have greater respect for the elderly are more likely to have intergenerational cooperation and communication. And because atomized Westerners no longer know what's what or who's who, they cannot fix themselves on a particular belief system other than to continue blaming Jews and Muslims. But it would be easier if they just blamed themselves. And since we value ourselves so much and love ourselves so much, it would be easier once we blamed ourselves to forgive ourselves. What is interesting is that people never avail themselves of the obvious solutions. They have to look for the most difficult solution, say it's not available, and then blame the Jews. And also, there is this desire to try national socialism just one more time. And clearly, they don't care if they win or lose or whether the experiment fails or succeeds. They just want to do it for the hell of it. And I think those who want to try this experiment again are bachelors who have no progeny to care about. Because if you did have progeny that you cared about, you wouldn't want them to live through a period of chaos, civil war, revolution, the horrors of being a failed state. But these people, being all bachelors, atheists, nihilists who prefer to blame everyone but themselves, they are fixated on their sacred religion of Jew blaming, and they will never stop because it triggers a cycle of confirmation bias. Because they're told not to blame Jews, they feel that they must blame Jews all the more. And when they do that, they get smashed on the head again and again and again. But that's okay for them because they think it confirms our theory that Jews are to blame. And this affirms their identity, which is more important to them than doing the right thing. And this is basically the mindset of the anti-Semite, whose sacred belief system is that Jews are to blame for every misfortune that having a stupid religion that worships a Jew brings about. Thank you for your attention.